Why, hello there, and welcome back to Talking Shit with a Yank and a Brit, episode 53.
What? Is it 53?
Yeah.
Are we sure?
No.
Did I put 51 on our Instagram story and it was 52?
Maybe.
Shit. I also said election day was the second Tuesday of November, and I'm so stupid. It's the first Tuesday. Such a fucking big error. I'm a nincompoop.
Yeah, you are.
God damn.
How could you get the date so wrong?
I don't know, because I have an IQ of like 6.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
So I'm surprised I'm still alive, to be honest.
How have you made it this far?
Don't know.
Don't know.
Anyway.
Hi. How you doing?
I'm good. I am good. Fine. I'm fine.
Grand?
Nope. We discussed this last time. I'm never
just
those
fine.
things.
Just a very mediocre fine.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's fine.
What have you been up to?
I've been doing some things
And stuff.
and bits.
Tell me.
I forgot to tell you this the other week, actually, but I went to the theatre in London to see a musical.
Fancy. Which one?
It was called Standing at the Sky's Edge.
It sounds serious.
Well, yeah, it's relatively new, and it's had like rave reviews. I'd never heard of it. My mum just booked tickets for a few of us to go.
Mm-hmm.
And oh my God, it was so good.
Next Hamilton?
It's really different. It's a really modern musical, and it's described as a love story to Sheffield, which is like
fucking Sheffield.
Sheffield. It's just town/city. I'm not sure. Sorry for anyone in Sheffield. And it's like this really clever story of, I don't want to give it away too much, but it's like sort of 3 different generations, and it kind of all intertwines, but the music was amazing. The story was really clever, and it actually made me cry at one point, which a musical has never done. Like, it was so good. And I highly, highly recommend that people go and see it. And I've even been listening to the soundtrack since, because I'm like, I just really want to hear that song again.
Okay. What's it called again?
Standing at the Sky's Edge. It's probably not in America.
I doubt it. No. We don't have anything good here.
Yes, you do.
No, we don't.
You get all the good ones.
No, we don't.
Yes, you do. You got Little Mermaid way before we did.
Little Mermaid the musical?
Yeah.
There's a musical?
Yeah.
How?
Well,
she's a fish.
Yeah, well, they do clever things, I think. Well, she just wears a nice big tail and just crawls along the floor. Just slithers along. Like a half human,
that sounds like a
fish.
horror movie. All right. We each have good things sometimes before the other.
Yeah, exactly. So that was really good. I also, this week, was a judge for a battle of the bands.
Ooh.
It's pretty good. It was just like in a school, so it was like loads of young little bands. Aww. But we had to like give them feedback as if we were like on X Factor.
Yeah. So were you nice? Were you mean? Were you middle of the road?
Yeah, I mean, I was Simon Cowell. I told them all that they were shit and they would never be famous and they were too fat to do anything. No, I didn't really. I was quite nice.
Good. I just think, children need to not be told they should follow their dreams and they can do everything they want. No, they should be told the opposite.
Yeah. Give them a bit of fighting spirit,
Yeah. I mean, you get a whole generation like us if you tell kids to follow their dreams, and we don't need that again.
If you give people too high expectations, then they're only going to be disappointed. So
I mean, I think we have should have started a podcast. So
exactly.
So were they good? Were they impressive or what?
Yeah, they were pretty. Like some of them were like super young.
Like babies?
Yeah.
Just imagine a baby holding a guitar, like a full-sized adult guitar even. They're just in a baby
One of
Bjorn and
those
the
double
parents holding
basses.
the for yeah. Cute. That's the cutest thing I've ever thought of.
I might have kids just to do that.
Yep.
Yep.
Just have a band.
Baby band.
Mhm.
And then get rid.
Mhm.
Mm.
Yep. Did someone win? Or
Yeah.
a band win?
Yeah,
Who
and that's
won?
it. We all like marked it. We had categories and we marked out of whatever it was and then added it all up at the end. And then we didn't realise at the end that we also were meant to be making note and picking like the best vocalist, best guitarist, best bassist, best drummer, best other.
Oh, sounds like they did a really good job prepping you guys.
Yeah. We didn't know that. And then we were like, oh, that one was really good, but what band were they in? I don't know. But it was good. It was good fun. Got a free bottle of wine out of it.
Nice.
Met some lovely people. So, yeah, it was good fun.
Are you allowed to give a plug for the winning band?
I'm sure I'm allowed, but
I mean, do
whether
we
I can
want to?
remember their name or not is another question.
Well, maybe next time.
Sorry, the dog just barked. I
Yeah,
don't know if you can hear that.
I did. Hey.
No, someone's just walked in the front door.
Oh no, it's a prowler.
Oh gosh, someone's breaking in.
And this is where I watched Gemma get murdered.
Yeah, if you see someone come through that door,
you will know because my face will be horrified, and I'll be like, Gemma, look out behind you.
I'll see as well. To be fair,
yeah, that's true. Okay.
Oh, and then I also on Thursday went to place my vote in the general election for our new government.
Excellent.
And I exercised.
Why? Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Sorry, I was just rambling, saying I exercised my right to vote as a woman because women died to get me the vote. So,
did they?
Yeah.
Do we know
suffragettes?
Who? I didn't know
Yeah,
they
her
died.
name is called. Look.
Wasn't the mom from Mary Poppins a suffragette?
She was, yeah.
Fuck, I just pulled that right out of the nether regions of my brain.
Emily Wilding Davison.
She died.
She was an English suffragette who fought for votes for women in Britain in the earlier 20th century, and she ran in front of a horse at some horse race.
Okay, so she died unrelated to, oh no, it was related to voting. Okay.
Yeah, she was protesting.
Okay. So did she intentionally do that, or?
Yeah. I mean, there are varying opinions, but some people claim that she was trying to stop King George's horse and attach it to some suffragette flags that she had with her.
Oh, okay. So just some reckless behavior that resulted in her death in her effort to get women the right to vote. Okay.
Yeah.
Sad.
So that one's for you, Emily. Thanks.
I was going to ask why, because you could ask the same thing of us, but why on a Thursday in July? Was it just like, this is the day we're going to do it? Or do you guys do it the same day every election?
Yeah, well, I'm guessing a Thursday is a good day. I think old Rishi, who we've kicked out now, I think he just decided the day, but I think they usually do it on a Thursday. I would say probably because Parliament don't like to work on the weekends, and obviously we all vote on the Thursday and then they count it throughout the night and the results come in on the Friday.
And the people who lose are like, cool, 3-day weekend.
Yeah, woo!
Okay, a couple more questions, because maybe that's why we do it on Tuesday, because everyone's like, well, if we want to take Monday off.
Yeah.
And then also, do they start right away, or is it like starting January 1 or like the first event month? Because ours is like in November, and then January is when they take office. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's quite a long gap, isn't it?
Well, it's just, I think, January 1 is the start of the new year.
Yeah, so the result came in. Usually what happens if they're nice, the Prime Minister
steps down.
Yeah, like hands in their resignation. I think they do that to the king.
Oh yeah, Nigel said Rishi had to march down to Buckingham to hand it, and I was like, did he literally have to march? And then what? Did people just throw shit at him as he did it, or
he's just getting tomatoes and plums thrown at him? You know. And then the new prime minister has to also go to meet the king and get permission to form a new government.
This would be me if I were the prime minister,
Oh,
just going,
I thought
hi.
it was like a ghost or something. I was like, "Who are you waving
Yeah,
at?"
just waving at the person behind you. No big deal. No, that's me with the king.
Oh, hello.
So, okay. You have to get permission because this is the symbolism of making it seem like the king is still in charge, huh?
Yeah, yeah.
Has there ever been a
Seeming
time
like
when a
he's got
king
a
or
say.
queen? Yeah, exactly. But has there ever been a time when they're like, no?
No, there were like rumours that the Queen really didn't want to give permission to Boris Johnson because he's just an absolute
He's a
buffoon.
twat. Yeah.
Yeah. But she still did.
No, I like that about her. That makes me,
Yeah.
that's cool.
Yeah.
But she's kind of like, I mean, I don't really have a reason
No, I
to.
don't really have a choice. So,
Yeah.
um,
Interesting.
yeah. So once he's got permission, he's effectively prime minister. But obviously, the old prime minister has to move out of number 10 Downing Street and let the new one move in, which I'm assuming that takes, I don't know, a few days, a week. I don't know, actually. I'm making this up.
They hire people to do it in a matter of hours, I bet.
Yeah. So now it's just Larry the cat living there.
Oh, I love him.
Mm, he's a cutie.
Okay, I have more questions though.
No.
Okay.
Go on.
Has any of the exiting PMs ever fucked with the house for the incoming? Like, didn't flush the toilet, put some rotting food somewhere? Because I would also do that.
Just chuck a little
I
fish
would
in the
like,
air vent.
yeah, I would like put a paint can above the door sill, like Home Alone style.
There's no sources to tell me whether that happens or not, but I'm, pretty sure it does.
Just a picture of them when they open a cupboard going, middle fingers up.
Flipping the bird.
Yep.
Yep.
So, how do you feel about the election results?
I am very pleased.
Okay.
It's been 14 years of Conservative government, and they have shat on this country in every way possible. They're all about austerity. I mean, Rishi Sunak, our old prime minister, is richer than the royal family.
Oh, damn. Hot damn.
His wife is like a fucking billionaire.
Oh, it's not even his money, it's hers.
No, but I mean, he's pretty rich anyway. I think he comes from quite well-to-do people. And so he's never had a fucking job in his life.
And then he just became prime minister. Man, that is the epitome of failing upwards if I've ever heard it.
But that's the case with so many Conservative politicians because they
Yeah.
come from rich families, they go to Eton or Oxford, study politics, and then they become MPs and work their way up.
Pivot real quick. I
Yeah,
like that a prestigious school like Eton has a fucking dessert called Eton Mess.
I know. Because it is a fucking Eton mess.
Yeah. Anyway, so, okay.
So, yeah, I'm really happy because the NHS is fucked. Housing is fucked. Public services are fucked because they've gradually just taken,
Eroded them.
yeah, and pulled their funding, and it's just falling apart. And it's finally got to the point where people are like, fuck this, we need change. And I'm fucking here for it.
You know, I was talking to Nigel a little bit about this and was like, for the people who continue to vote conservative, right? And complain about the state of the country
Mm.
and like all the things that are wrong with it, yet continue to vote the party that arguably has some responsibility over why, that confuses me a little bit. And it makes me, I mean, it's very American. Like it's the same way people vote here and kind
Yeah.
of have values. It's like they don't think about how it's like I'm just Republican or I'm just Democrat or whatever, no matter what, even if the thing that I'm supporting really is maybe the reason of what I perceive as problems in my country.
Yeah.
And I did note when I was watching the election results, because it was the 4th of July here, so I had the day off. And
Nice.
so I waited until evening time to check and saw that it was like a landslide for Labor, but there was still some like that one what is his name? Farage. Like
Yeah, Nigel Farage. Yeah.
he somehow managed to win. But
Mm.
the fuck, I forgot what I was going to say. Oh, that yes, it's been the last 14 years, but also the amount of loss and the like number of seats they actually have now, it hasn't been like that since like the 1800s.
No, this is like history
Yeah.
in the making.
So I mean, that's a pretty clear signal, I think,
Hmm.
to the government from the population of England
Yeah.
about like fucking fix it. So I hope they do. What do you think about your new PM?
I I really like him. Um,
How do you say his name?
I
Kier.
Keir Starmer. So I didn't really know much about him, and he's because he didn't go to Eton or Oxford. Actually, I think he had a year in Oxford, but he got a scholarship. Um,
Ah, so he's not of the ilk that we've seen with politicians. That's
no,
nice.
he
Because
comes from
that's
a
true for
working
us
class
here. Yeah.
family.
Nice.
His dad was a toolmaker. His mum was a nurse in the NHS. Um, she got very ill and was terminally ill when he
Oh.
was young, and so he had to care for her.
Oh.
And I heard this story as well that she loved donkeys, but couldn't leave the house because she was so ill. So they rescued two donkeys and put them in the back garden where her window looked out so that she could sit and see the donkeys. And I just thought, what
Oh.
a lovely little thing.
Yeah.
He obviously he went to Oxford for a year, but on a scholarship, and he's said openly that he didn't hang out with all the
Yeah.
Borises and Rishis because he was
As poor.
just yeah, yeah, I was
They're like,
fucking
we're gonna
poor.
go on our yacht. Do you want to come yacht racing with us, Kier? He's like, I will ride my bicycle.
Yeah. But no, he said he had 1 year to use the library there, which is like one of the most incredible libraries in England. And so he just sat in the library and read as many books as he could.
I
And
mean, this is the Oxford that I believe invented the Oxford
the
comma
Ox
that no one
yeah,
gives a fuck about anymore.
yeah, and the Oxford Dictionary.
Yeah.
Um and he also, his career before he became a politician, he is a human rights lawyer by trade,
Love that. That's
which
sexy.
is great. Like,
Yeah.
what better person,
Mhm.
especially like after Brexit and all this horrible racism that's been happening, and like they've already scrapped the Rwanda plan. I
Oh, thank
don't know
God.
if you knew about that, where they're
Yeah, we
just going to
talked about
ship
yeah,
people off to Rwanda.
yeah.
Um, and I watched his speech yesterday, and like people are like, oh, he's not really got any charisma, and he's not
Who
PM.
cares?
Da, da, da. But I thought his speech was heartfelt, and it was like a normal person,
Yeah.
like genuinely talking to you, and like from a place of actually caring. Like he's passionate about
Cares about the
actually,
country.
yeah,
Yeah.
making change and making people's lives better. And I think that really came across to me anyway. I don't know what other people thought. And I don't give a shit that he's not a trained debater and, you know,
Well, he is because he was
media
a
trained.
lawyer. So,
And
right?
yeah, but people are like, oh, he's not very media trained and he's not very good,
Oh my God.
up against other politicians. And I'm like, I don't
We don't know
care.
that,
Like,
really. I mean, he
hmm.
maybe it just doesn't matter.
Yeah. I mean, he wasn't great in the debates because you know what they like. They like the Conservatives were like, "Oh, you're going to tax people an extra £2,000 a month or whatever it was." And I think because he hadn't had that kind of media training, he didn't address it until 20 minutes into the debate.
Mm.
So a normal politician
Goes
would
for the
know
sound bites,
to,
right?
yeah,
Like,
like, no, we're
yeah.
not going to do that. Da, da, da. And he was just sticking to sort of his script. And it wasn't until further down the line, where people probably would have switched off, that he actually addressed the lies that Rishi was throwing at him.
Hmm.
But yeah, I think it could be a really good thing. I really liked what he said, what he stands for, and the stories I've heard about him. He seems like a top-notch guy.
I guess when I think about like characteristics of a leader, charisma sure is great, but that's not like my number one, you
No,
know? Compassionate, um, accountable, transparent. Yeah. But like charisma to me is kind of like, I mean, it's like,
well,
oh, the celebrity becoming president sort of situation.
exactly.
And I think caring about the country is really important. And that's, we talked a little bit, I think, off air last time just about how scary and uncertain things are over here right now. But one thing
Mhm.
I can say about the candidates we have at this point is one's a really old man, one's a really old man who's a convicted felon, sex offender, con artist, criminal who is really problematic. One really cares about his country, even if he's done some
Senile.
things in the past. Yeah. So it's just like, yeah. Um, I
Mm,
don't I don't like either of our choices, but I at least like know one cares about America.
yeah.
So
Yeah, you guys are in a really tough spot. Are there not other parties? Is it literally the
well,
Democrats and the
we have
Republicans?
third parties, but I think they never get enough traction or people to vote for them that they
Mm.
get anywhere. And so what ends up happening is the people who vote for the third party ends up in effect kind of giving the vote to the candidate that they wouldn't choose because really most people vote for, Republican or Democrat.
Yeah.
Um, and we do have Robert Kennedy,
Yeah,
who's the
I've
third
heard that
party.
he's pretty good.
Uh,
No?
do a little research. We'll talk about it next time.
Okay.
N- n- I'm not going to comment today, but I
Okay.
won't be voting
Okay.
for him either. Won't be voting for him either.
Alrighty. I'll
I
look
don't
into
know.
that
I don't
then.
know what I mean. I know what I'm going to do, but at this point, it's kind of like denial about maybe something will happen and it won't be such a fuck. Won't be
Won't
a
be such
fuck.
a shit show.
Yeah.
What would happen if Biden died?
Like before the election,
Yeah.
then the vice president becomes president and I suppose would then become the incumbent. But I guess I don't actually know for sure if that's true. I don't know if the rules were if like the incumbent dies, we have to start all over again and pick a new candidate, or if it just automatically transfers to Harris. So
Right. Do you guys pick the leader of the party, I guess? Or is that within the party?
I think what you're asking me is how do we get candidates who end up running for president?
Yeah.
So yeah, like there's primaries where it's all within the party. So like well before the election when we're still trying to decide who to put up for, the primaries for the Democrats or the primaries for the Republicans, they have all the people within who want the bid. They have
Mhm.
their own debates and then there's kind of elections for those things too. So like since Biden was the president or is the president, there's only like two circumstances I think where the president wasn't the choice for the party that he was in during the election. So it was just kind of a given that he was going to be, unless he can't because they get two terms, right?
Yeah.
Um, and so it was the Republicans who were looking for the nom, and that's where we had like Trump running, and I can't think of who else now. Nikki Haley, uh, just a bunch of Republican people who were trying to become president, and then ultimately the country or the delegates for the Republican National Convention put Trump up again. So,
All right.
so in a way, we do, but I do think it comes down to like delegates who are supposed to like vote for um, the jurisdiction that they represent. I think.
Right. Yeah.
And that's same with like the confusing nature of the popular vote and the electoral vote when it comes to the election. I still can't fully wrap my head around it, even though I've studied this somewhat and lived here forever and voted. But it's just
Yeah,
like a
it's weird,
really,
isn't it?
it's a ridiculous system. It's like you can win the popular vote, which means you got the most votes in the country. But then we have the electoral votes, which then people go and vote and anyway.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Like, so I found out because we have I've mentioned it last time, I think, the first past the post. So each, I guess, jurisdiction that we have, all around the country,
Mhm.
they have their local MP representative for each party.
Mhm.
And so I wasn't voting for Keir Starmer, I was voting for my local MP.
Mhm.
And it's whoever wins in that jurisdiction gets a seat in Parliament, and it's the party with the most seats and first past the post. I think it's like 329 seats is the majority, and so they win.
Mhm.
And we're one of the only countries in Europe to still use this system. The only other two countries are Russia and Belarus.
Oh. Good company there.
Mm. And there has been talk for years that we need to get rid of it, because I don't see why it should just be done on how many votes the parties receive. That makes so much more fucking sense.
Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah, it's weird.
Well, in this instance, it ended up giving the Labour Party a huge amount.
Yeah. And we were
So,
talking about this yesterday, actually, and we said, I wonder if they still would have won had it not been first past the post.
I mean, you would think so,
You'd hope so.
but that's the curious thing about, I think, the different ways of
Mm.
voting people in. We've had I couldn't tell you all. I wasn't a poli-sci major, and like my own kind of knowledge about this sort of thing is recent because I like had blinders about anything political for a lot of my life. But I have I for people who listen at home that I know, I'm sure they're probably God, Kate's a fucking idiot. I had no idea this whole time. Anyway, there's a lot of different ways you can elect people, but then it's like there's one way where it's like if parties don't receive a certain amount, then it's a runoff, and then we have to vote for them again, and it's like we just who got the most votes.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah, for fuck's sake.
If people don't want to vote,
Yeah.
then
That's it.
that's fine, I guess. But if only 25% of people voted in a certain jurisdiction and someone still got the majority of those votes, that should be enough.
That should be the winner, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Stupid.
Yeah. Well, so coincidentally, it was the 4th of July on your election day, as
Mm-hmm.
we just discussed last time. And it was a shit day anyway. I mean, normally we would have at least probably hung out outside and played sticks and cups and grilled, but it was a really terrible day.
Ah,
Um, and weather-wise. And I chose to basically hang out in my basement and play video games because I
nice.
also didn't really feel like celebrating America's birthday. I don't even think this should be Independence Day, like I said on our Juneteenth episode, but I also just didn't think there was a lot for me to celebrate. I also really don't care about fireworks that much. So,
No. Again, I think we've spoken about this. My dog doesn't like them, so I just get fucking annoyed with fireworks now.
yeah.
And you guys love a firework on 4th of July.
Can be, I mean, one day is fine, but people, particularly where I grew up, there was like a 2-week period where you could start and like have to have them done by, and people really maximized that.
Oh, God.
So, and then
I feel like once
like,
you've seen one display, you've
yeah,
seen them all,
yeah.
you know?
Hmm. Hmm.
Like, oh, seen
But
it.
it's also about the ones that just make noise and like the ones
Mm.
that injure people. That's one of my complaints is people are stupid about them and they get hurt. Like someone died. I'm sure a lot of people died, but I saw me like early on the 4th that like a little boy died from fireworks, and they litter,
I mean, they're just essentially bombs, aren't they? So,
waste of money. Yeah.
yeah. It's quite mental. But there's also, you can get silent fireworks now, so
They're just like
use them.
yeah. Chips it was his first 4th with us anyway. And he kind of was just like, "What's that?" And he wasn't super scared, but then I have a picture of him sitting in his little perch looking out the window, and I caught it right at the time there were fireworks, and I was like, "Oh, he likes them." He's like, "Oh, ah."
Oh, pretty lights.
Yeah, pretty much.
Cool. So you spent 4th of July gaming away,
Yep.
hiding in the basement.
Yep. And that's it.
Sounds like a good day off.
I mean, I also worked on Friday. Nigel
Mm.
didn't, so it didn't really feel like a day off because it was just like a random day, like do
Yeah.
nothing in the middle of the week sort of
Mm.
situation. Um, But yeah, now here we are on Saturday. It's right now for nice out, so maybe I'll be able to get outside and enjoy the day.
Dios mi chat. We've
Yep.
got some fucking weird weather at the moment. It's currently sunny, blue skies, but I
Wait
guarantee
5
you in
minutes.
5 minutes it will be pissing it down with rain. It's pretty shit. And actually, my computer says earlier that the temperature is at record lows for this time of year. So that's cool.
We got a
Welcome
fuck
to
ton of rain.
England.
Yeah, we got a fuck ton of rain I mean, in some ways the rain is kind of normal because we've had several dry years and drought years. And so having a bunch of rain after that is normal, but the
Mhm.
sheer amount of rain that we've had has resulted in some really bad flooding back in my hometown in Minnesota. It's horrible. It's horrifying. We're not prepared for it. We got to do better about preparing for this, particularly with climate change and
Yeah.
seeing kind of more natural disasters like this. Like there's a theme park not too far from me, Valley Fair, underwater.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, we need to also address the fucking cause, don't we?
Yeah.
Which is
Yep.
one thing I'm hoping the new government will do,
Yeah.
because all the old politicians are in the pockets of the big oil companies, so
Mhm.
they don't want to stop them drilling for oil and burning fossil fuels. Whereas I'm hoping the new Labour government will have hopefully a different perspective on it.
Well, considering like the majority of Europe has been leaning very far right, and the fact that the UK took a different route is interesting. And also like I'm really glad, obviously, but it's like is he gonna like they're gonna be the only you guys are gonna be the only ones doing like
Mm,
anything to
yeah.
like for climate change and stuff, and it's just gonna be met with a lot of resistance, and I'll be curious to see what happens if he who shall not be named wins, what that
Mm,
relationship is like.
yeah, that would be interesting. I'd like to
Yeah.
be a fly on the wall there.
Yeah.
I just think, guys, like, do you not realise if we don't do anything, there might not be humans in 50 years, or
People don't care.
we're
They
going
have
to
no
be
foresight.
very fucked.
Yeah. Well,
And there will be mass immigration, and there
yeah.
will be nothing to stop it, because so millions and billions of people are going to be displaced because their fucking countries are going to be underwater.
Yep.
Oh,
Uh,
anyway.
so I guess if they don't care about their children and grandchildren,
Yeah,
then
exactly.
yeah, carry on. And I think people don't.
Clearly not.
No.
No. Well, on that joyous note,
Pivot.
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 Okay. Well, you were talking about rich people
Mm.
like Rishi and never having a job. And I thought that was a kind of an interesting segue into an article I found about comments, out of touch comments rich people have said.
Oh, okay, brilliant.
um, it's from BuzzFeed, and it's, there are two types of rich people: the grounded, wealthy people who go about life quietly, and the flamboyantly rich who make their affluence known to everyone. So, Redditor, you month I see one asked, "What's the most out of touch thing you heard from rich people?" The first one is a coworker asked me what bank I use for my safety deposit box. I told her I didn't have a safety deposit box. And she responded, "But where do you keep your jewels then?" "All your riches and jewels in the heart of the sea from the Titanic. I have that jewel."
Yes. Where do you keep your pearls?
If someone said that to me, I'd be like, you know what? I buried them.
Yeah. There's only one person that has access to the map. How
This one is,
ridiculous.
I think, yeah. I know there's a lot of reasons to have safety deposit boxes. I don't have one, but, you know, if someone had said, "Oh, that's where I store my passport," or like things that if my house burns down, I don't want to
Yeah,
lose, right? Like, oh, that's a good idea. I
fair enough.
probably
Yeah.
should get one.
Like
But
sentimental stuff.
where do you keep your jewels and bars of gold?
It's ridiculous.
Okay, this one I've made jokes about, so I thought it was kind of funny, but it's not. I was told my degree was worthless because it was from a public university and they don't teach stuff over there.
No, we don't learn anything.
Only go to Oxford and Eton and Harvard and Princeton.
Yeah, they're the only good ones.
Excuse me. Oh, I need a little sip of water.
Ooh, have a little sipple out of your giant cup.
Stop talking about my cup. Okay. My favorite has got to be when my younger cousin said, Hawaii is my favorite place to go when we want to go on a quick, cheap vacation.
Oh, fuck you. Fuck off.
I know.
Oh, God.
Yeah, we can just take our private jet and it's not that much in fuel.
Yeah, it's absolutely fine. Don't worry about it. It's only £10,000 a ticket.
This one made me laugh for a lot of reasons, which hopefully will be clear to you at least. You've never been to Disney? Did your parents not love you or something? Bitch, my parents were raising 3 kids working 2 jobs on poverty wages. Like, I never have been to Disney. My parents didn't love me, though.
No, clearly not. To be fair, I have been to Disneyland Paris.
Yeah, it's different for you, though, because it's, like, so close.
Yeah.
Like, your ability to go to Paris, and I'm not saying it doesn't cost money and it's not expensive, but your ability to go to Paris is like me being able to fly to Chicago for $100.
Exactly.
You know?
And I've got to tell you, it's very disappointing.
You told me once, I remember, I think it was one of the first times, you know, we've met a few times, but you're like, oh yeah, I went to Paris Disney and the person at the gate was so unenthused and just like, tickets, please.
Exactly.
Tickets, please.
I thought I was going to be met by a princess.
No, just some dude named
Disneyland.
Pierre smoking a cigarette.
Have you got your ticket? Oh, great.
Okay, couple more. It's just so easy to drop $1,000 at Target, you know? My coworker in Calabasas, Kardashian Land, said after he spent $983 on toys for his 4-year-old nephew's birthday.
What?
Not even his own son.
Oh, fucking hell. Oh, I'd love to be that rich where
$1,000 on birthday gifts for a child.
Yeah, just don't even think about it. Like, God.
I know.
I search on Amazon to find the cheapest version of what I'm looking for.
Oh, they love Paw Patrol. Let me find one that's called Paw Petrol.
Yeah. Or I'll go to the fucking charity shop and pick up a second-hand one.
Yep.
Oh, wow.
This one's a little offensive, but her dishwasher broke and she complained about washing her dishes by hand. She even said that she felt like a poor person.
Oh, wow. Fuck you.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes even I have a dishwasher and wash my dishes by hand.
Same. There's some dishes that need to be washed by hand.
A friend's sister told me how hard it is to live in Jackson Hole because, quote, you have to fly in your help for cleaning and yard work and stuff from Salt Lake.
Wow. Wow. What a privilege to be able to fly in the help.
Yep.
What a privilege to have help.
I mean, yeah. Okay, 2 more. How could your family's accountant let this happen? This was the response when we discussed how growing up we couldn't pay the bills and had our electricity shut off multiple times. As if it's just the accountant knew. Oh, fuck, I turned off autopay. Sorry.
Oh, fucking hell.
A rich person once asked me, why don't you just buy a second house for your vacation getaways? As if owning one house wasn't already a huge financial stretch.
Oh, mate. These people are so fucking removed from reality.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So just sometimes rich people are not just like us.
No.
I don't think I don't think we were poor growing up. We were certainly not wealthy. But, my vacations consisted of driving to Des Moines, which was about 2.5 hours away, to see my grandma. And we would go to Adventureland, which is a shitty little theme park.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, we weren't poor. At one point, we were quite well off. Dad was doing all right. But then that went.
Mm-hmm. Happens.
So yeah, did have a little bit of the rich life. But I remember at that time in my life, I was actually embarrassed about it because I just wanted to be normal, like all my other school friends. And so when we did have to give it all up and move to a small house
You're like,
in the local town, I
yes,
was like, yeah, I'm normal,
slumming
man. Yeah.
it. Like the
Yeah,
prince and the
weird.
pauper. I just want to experience what it's like to be a poor person. Switch spots with me. That's you.
Yeah. It was only for a few years, guys. Okay, I was not raised with a silver spoon.
Well, I was going to ask you if you ever had the experience or heard about people being like, when I was younger and I went to a friend's house, this is how I knew they were wealthy, or this is what wealth is. And it was like, for me, like they had a walk-in pantry that had like 4-pound bags of gummy bears in the giant tub of cheese. Like you could walk into like a little room that had all of their food in it.
Mm,
And I was like, wow, this, and you have an island
yeah.
in your kitchen. That means your family's rich.
That means you got money.
You have a basement that isn't creepy, it's fully finished, and you have a second living room.
You have ensuite bathrooms? What the fuck?
Oh, that I don't think I realized that was a thing until college.
Really?
No, I mean, going to rich friends' houses, I did.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, how the other half live, hey?
Yep.
Mm.
One more pivot, sort of related.
Bye-bye.
I forgot to tell you this. When I was in Maine, standing outside, we were at karaoke night, but we're either getting ready to leave or something, and we're standing outside, probably having a bag, and these 3 youngish girls who were in the bar, they were over 21, but they looked only just,
Mm.
they parked their car haphazardly in a spot they shouldn't have next to us, and kept running in and out of the bar because they guess they had a bunch of songs. They're getting ready to leave, but their songs came up. And so
Right.
like they left the Mercedes running
Oh,
and would run
no.
in, window down, and we're just like, I mean, it must be nice to be that young and carefree in your
Yeah.
Mercedes. Well, they came out, and one of the girls to someone in my group was like, I will give you $1,000 if you give me a cigarette. And he was kind of like, real, and I was like, I mean, that's a contract if I've ever heard one. You better
Yeah.
go get that
It's a verbal agreement.
$1K. And then she holds up a $5 bill and she goes, I mean, I will give you 1,000 quid. And I was like, or something. And she's like, she said something about quid. And it was like, well, technically 1,000 quid is more than $1,000. So you
Yeah.
should make up your mind here. And she's like, no, that's fake money. It's fake. That's not real. It's from, I can't remember if she said, I think she said Game of Thrones or maybe Lord of the Rings. But she's like, no, quid isn't real. It's made up. And I was like, it is real. And it has been doing better than the dollar for a while now.
Yeah.
So $1,000 is actually going to be better for you. But then she was
What an
holding up a
idiot.
5 and the guy was like, just have it.
Just
But
fucking take my cigarette. What an
so
idiot.
dumb.
It's not
I know.
simoleons.
I know. But she was so like shocked that I was telling her that is a legitimate, actual, real
Actual
currency
currency, yes.
that people use in this world.
Read a book, lady.
No shit. So that's rich people for you, and rich 21-year-olds for you, maybe.
Well, speaking of things that are annoying, I've got something for you where it's people sharing mildly inconvenient things that annoy the hell out of them.
Love it, because everything annoys me. So probably going to relate hard.
Yeah, you may feel seen. So here's a few. Slow walkers and people that stop walking in the middle of a crowded area and don't move despite people being behind them.
Yeah, I try really hard not to do this. And despite being of short stature, I can Zoom. And I hate when I'm with people who are taking forever.
Mm-hmm.
We have to get to where I'm going. I don't care if we're on a scenic walk.
I am quite a dawdler.
Yeah,
I've
that's why I can't
discovered.
hang out with you.
Yeah. But I mean, no, when I'm in a city environment or a town, then I'll walk fast if I'm on my own because I got
Well,
places
yeah,
to
you're
be.
getting
I got
point A
people to
to
see.
yeah.
You know.
If you're just going on a walk or a
Yeah.
stroll, it's a little
But
different.
on like a dog walk, I just like a nice,
Totally.
gentle stroll.
I mean, I've gone on some long ass dog walks with you too, and if I were to like power walk through it, I'd be waiting for you guys
Yeah.
for a while.
Exactly. We like a country dawdle here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so this user said, when I drop something small onto the floor and have to pick it up, I've completely turned into my father. I usually roll my eyes, sigh as I bend down to pick it up, and then growl angrily when it takes a second or a couple of tries to actually pick it up.
It actually kind of annoys me when Nigel does stuff like that because he acts like he'll be like, "For fuck's sake," and I'll be like, "Did you cut your hand off? Is our cat dead? What happened?" And he's like, "I dropped the butter knife." Oh, okay. Well, I'm gonna go back to what I was doing now.
How about just pick it up?
Yeah, calm the fuck down.
This person said, being asked to do something that I'm already doing, which is annoying.
Or like when your boss or someone will say, and don't forget to, do X thing that you do as a regular part of your duty and
Yeah.
have never once missed it or not
Yeah.
done it. And it's just all of a sudden like, oh, thank you for telling
Thank
me
you so
to
much.
submit my time card.
Yeah. Dick. And also, this one really gets me. Getting a pocket stuck on a handle or a drawer.
Or like your belt loop.
Yeah. And you're like, ugh.
Yep.
That
Oh
really
god, that is
fucks me
annoying.
off.
That's not mildly inconvenient, particularly if you fuck up your pants or the thing you caught it on.
True.
I dropped my computer in England because my sleeve, I had a big billowy sleeve and it got hooked on one of those door handles that is comes out and then goes like this. So
Yeah.
it got stuck and my computer flew out of my hands. That was not mildly inconvenient. That was upsetting. And I was mad for like a week.
Rage-filled.
Yes.
When a motion sensor sync turns off before I'm done with it.
I can't even get those fuckers to turn on, and
No,
then I
not
have to
gonna
wonder
lie.
if I'm actually alive or exist. Can people see me?
Am I a ghost?
Yeah, I hate all of those things.
This person
And that's
just
why
said,
robots can't do every job. I just want to
yes,
say that.
that is true. Idiots. This person just said, fucking wind.
There is an actual condition where wind fills people with rage.
Really?
Yes, and my friend Ryan has it. Where it's so rage inducing for them.
Yeah.
And it's like they can't think of anything and they're so angry.
The wind!
Yeah. I think it's maybe sensory stuff too, but it is annoying. I hate the wind too. I mean,
I hate the wind as well.
I'm just trying to be chill. Wind has got no chill.
Wind can ruin a really lovely day.
Wind can ruin your hair, your makeup, a game, homes.
Yeah. Fucking hurricanes, they fuck people up.
Tornadoes. I feel like that's kind of Uber wind.
Uber wind. That should be their new name.
Uber winds.
Uber wind.
Yeah, that's just next episode. We're going to rename horrible things to make them more tolerable.
Okay, this person says, people who listen to things in public without earphones, please, I do not want to hear whatever shitty TikTok you're watching.
Oh, I've had so many conversations about this. My friend Lydia was at Target. This woman was listening to a fucking audiobook. Yeah.
We get it all the time on public transport here. It's usually young people just
It's always
listening
young
to
people.
fucking rap music.
Yep. Or
blaring
TikToks.
out of their phones. I'm like,
Yep.
dude, we're all here as well.
I know.
Fucking shut up.
The entitlement.
Oh, I know.
I love sounding like a boomer when I talk about this because I know I do. I know I do.
These days.
Yes.
Okay, this one is, please remove item from basket. Please add item to the basket. Please wait for assistance.
I fuck those things up all the time too.
Can't bear it. The one in our local supermarket is so obnoxiously loud.
It's to start screaming thief because you put something on
Yeah.
on the thing bagging area too soon.
Fucking ridiculous, yeah. Please remove last item from bag. And you're like, fucking Jesus Christ.
Again, robots
Mm.
can't do every job.
Oh, this one really
Okay,
gets
we're
me.
getting activated here.
Yeah. I am going to invent something to stop this from happening because I fucking hate it. So when you're washing your face or brushing your teeth and a little trickle of water just runs down your arm.
Yep.
Really annoys me.
Yeah, I don't like being like very, very slightly damp in one single spot either.
No.
No,
Just
I
'cause
gotta be
why
fully
does it
damp
happen?
or not at all.
But it's when it goes down the
Yeah,
sleeve.
yeah.
Oh,
That's
I
why
don't
you
like it.
can't wear a shirt when you do those things.
I know, I've never learnt.
Do it topless, gal.
I'll give that a go, thanks.
So you don't need to invent anything.
Just take my top off.
But okay, so what would you invent? Would it be like little Elizabethan collars
Yeah, I'm
around your
thinking like
wrists?
yes.
That like are cones, like animal cones?
Yeah, like an animal cone. A scrunchie
That
with an
cut
animal cone coming out
yeah.
of it.
Really?
It
You
just
could just
collects the water and then I can just pour it out afterwards.
Gemma,
Hmm?
you know they make wristbands that are meant to collect sweat.
Sweatbands.
Yeah.
Oh shit. Yeah, that's a great idea.
Thank you.
Thank you.
No, thank you. You owe me some money if you make money off of this.
Well, they've already been invented. So.
Yeah, but repurposing things is helpful.
True. Okay, this person said having nasal congestion on one side of my nose and not the other.
And then when it switches sides.
Yeah, that's really annoying.
Mm-hmm.
Or when it's all right when you're on your own, but I find when you're in bed with someone else and you just have that little
Whistle.
I just get really paranoid about it. Like, can they hear my nose whistling?
Yes, they can.
Then I'll lay there like flaring my nostrils to try and stop it.
Yes, they can. They can hear it and they're too polite to say anything.
This probably annoys a lot of people because loads of people have road rage. Someone pulling out in front of me and then driving slower than me. That's irritating.
I do not have road rage, but I have road rage when other people get, like, I have road rage at the person who gets road rage when I'm driving, aka Nigel. Because I'm the person who has to deal with it. The other driver doesn't hear you.
I know. I have the same problem with Alan. Very annoyed about things.
We're really talking shit today.
Calm down. Sorry.
No, I'm not.
This one also gives me instant rage. Getting wired earphones caught on a handle and just having them ripped out of your ear. I haven't got AirPods. I haven't done that because I'll lose them. I still have the traditional wired earphones. And every time I'm in the kitchen listening to something, that fucking happens. It does my head in.
So let me just say that I had to go to wireless because not only has that happened, but I wildly gesticulate so much that I yank them out of my ears myself. Like, I am not safe with wired. I've done it, I think, on this podcast before. That's how I knock my mic off. Yeah.
Stop gesticulating.
I can't.
This person says when ketchup or other sauce gets rock hard around where the sauce comes out of the bottle, and you have to make sure it's clean after every time I use it.
I mean, I don't make sure it's clean, but yeah, it's gross.
Oh, this is annoying. When I'm on Reddit or other social media platforms and my finger accidentally taps the top of the screen on my iPad, which suddenly causes the page to scroll all the way to the top, and then I have to see everything I already looked at again. That's very annoying.
That is a dumb feature. I thought they were going to say I accidentally liked something from that is on the post of someone that I dated 6 years ago, and I'm looking back at their child and I accidentally liked it.
Yeah. I mean, that's happened to the best of us, hasn't it?
I mean, it actually hasn't happened to me, but I worry about it. Ugh. Well,
Wow.
I feel annoyed thinking about all the times all these annoying things have happened to me, and they haven't happened today. So that's cool.
That's good, yeah. So if these things haven't happened to you, you've had a good day. I'm gesticulating now. I'm just bashing my microphone around.
I think I bring that out in you.
You do, yeah. You make me passionate.
You're welcome. Glad I could help with the wristband conundrum too.
Right, go straight on Amazon and buying some sweatbands.
Yeah, that's going to be your nightly. Got to put on
The head one would also be really good for like holding back the hair when I'm doing my facial routine.
I use one when I wash my face and stuff. So
yeah, I do have bands, but I always forget to take them into the bathroom.
Keep them in the bathroom, you dummy.
Well, I don't really have anywhere to put them.
It's a band. You can put it on the doorknob. You can put it
I don't have
around.
doorknobs. I've got these lovely little country clasps.
You put it around your skincare bottle.
Yeah, I could do that, yeah.
I'm a problem solver.
You are.
Put a little safety pin in the wall and hang it on that.
Rental.
Not a safety pin, a thumbtack. Safety pin would be really difficult. Don't do that.
That would be really difficult. Yeah.
Little thumbtack.
I'm gonna do that with a safety pin and send you a picture.
Yes, do it.
Thanks, Kate. Look what I achieved. You up for an Am I the Asshole?
Yes.
Okay. What accent shall I do?
Do mine. Like, not American. Do me.
Do me. Do me.
I don't vocal fry that much.
I don't vocal fry that much.
Okay, you know what? Never mind. Don't do me. Don't. I take this back.
Okay, I'm better at British accents, so I'll do one of them. I'm gonna do.
I'm from Scouse.
Scouse. I could do Scouse. I'm not very good at Scouse, but I'll try. Manchester.
You could do Essex too. That one's kind of easy, right?
I could do Essex, yeah, okay. Am I the arsehole for slapping a teenager?
Okay. Essex is perfect.
Right. I, 32 female, was at a water park this last weekend with my husband, who is 32 and male, and my daughter. We were in one of those pools practicing swimming and keeping to ourselves. There was a group of teen boys there, and while I was working with my daughter on swimming on one of them, while I was working with my daughter on swimming, one of them came up behind me and I felt a tug on the strings of my top, untying it. I spun round, saw this 15 to 7-year-old with a smirk, and I slapped him. This caused a scene. The park staff got involved, as well as the boys' parents, who were livid at me. My husband and another lady saw it and confirmed that he really did grab my top. There was also a camera around the pool that kind of shows it, but it wasn't the best angle. The boys' parents threaten The boys' parents threaten assault charges, and I threaten sexual assault charges if they decided to go that way. Eventually, we were both asked to leave, and I haven't heard anything since. My husband, though, thinks that I overreacted a bit, which I don't. Am I the arsehole?
Wow, this is a tough one, but I do want to reemphasize that I think that was a really good accent choice for that one too.
It was, wasn't it?
And you did well. Okay. I'm just going to get it out there. Like, adults shouldn't hit kids. I mean, hitting is bad, right? But I also think if this were an adult male who did this, like, that is, from my opinion, reasonable self-defense and a reasonable reaction to someone who is committing some light sexual assault there.
Mm.
Now, I think her turning around and seeing and visualizing the age of this kid tells me she had enough time to be like, this kid probably shouldn't hit kids. That's not, and I don't know this kid, but I should be able to. I need to go to take this kid to the lifeguard or the authorities here, find his parents, and tell him what he did. Now, I think given what happened, it would be really hard to get that rational that fast because I would be fucking livid if someone did that to me. And particularly if it was intentional, right? If it was like a 3-year-old that clearly was just like grabbing shit,
Yeah.
right? Okay. But I think it the level of assholery here depends on to the extent that this person had enough time to see and visualize and perceive the kid who did it versus just immediately turning around and slapping whoever did it, right? So I'm going to say not the asshole, but like also hitting kids is not the behavior we want to role model for stuff like this. But I also think like defending yourself from sexual assault, sometimes you have to respond it with force, right? So I'm a little at a loss here. I think that the parents' reaction to what their child did, and you know, the slap isn't the same as a closed fist, I guess, and it seems like there's probably no like injury there. Um, the parents' reaction is very assholey and way to teach your kid not to, grab women.
Or have consequences for your actions.
Yeah. So I don't know. I got to think about it a little bit more. What do you think?
I mean, I've read the comments, so my opinion is swayed by them. But most people are saying, like you said, that it's an instant reaction thing,
Mm-hmm.
not a considered thought about, oh, I'm going to slap you. It's a reaction.
Turn around and slap. Yeah.
Like to someone trying to touch you or someone trying to pull your top
Yeah.
off. Like, so yeah, a lot of people are saying, not the arsehole. He was clearly sexually assaulting you. You used proportionate force in self-defense.
Ha it's really hard for me to be like, yeah, slap that little fucker.
Thing is, it's not a child. I mean, it is technically, but he's a teenager.
Yeah.
He
Still a kid,
knows that
though.
you shouldn't do that.
I mean, I agree. Yep.
Not the arsehole. That's a natural reaction. I'd probably do the same by natural reflex. And then loads of people were like, yeah, like a similar thing happened to me. And the message didn't even reach my brain before I turned around and whacked them. So maybe it's just something that's kind of ingrained in women as well, just to be like,
this is how we have
bash.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
It's certainly reasonable. It's not like they whipped out a knife and shanked him either, but like but what if it was a little kid who acts like was falling or drowning and flailing around and grabbed and reached out and yanked off her top or pulled the string and then she whacked them? Like, people would probably have some feelings about that, but it also again was like, well, yeah, when you're kind of in fight mode, it's hard for you to rationally walk through your reactions to it. I'm uncomfortable being like, slap children, hit children. I don't want to say that, but I also don't think that this is really that unreasonable.
No, and it depends how hard.
Yeah, I bet she's not, like I said, she's not decking the kid in the face and breaking his nose. It sounds like he got slapped across the face, which is a form of punishment parents use, or have used at least. I feel like I got slapped in the face for being sass mouth when I was a kid. So,
yeah. Okay, here's some controversial comments. So this person said, "Your husband's a douchebag. He should kick that kid's ass."
Well,
and then the next person said, "Let's not normalize hitting children. As someone who was beat as a child for doing things I didn't know were wrong to me at the time, it didn't help me learn. It just made me problematic." And then the next person has said, "He assaulted a woman. He deserves to have every bone in his face broken." Whoa, he's a teen.
Okay.
He knows damn well what sexual assault is.
The smirk tells me that, I mean, we had kids snapping bras when I was younger,
Yeah.
and it's like they know exactly what they're doing, even if they are 10, 11, 12, right? They maybe don't think about it as sexualized in the same way, but this kid knew
he
what he was
probably
doing.
didn't mean any, maliciousness by it. It was just, oh, this will be funny.
Yeah, I was being a shitty little kid.
A lot of people hating on the husband. Your husband is a bitch. He should have defended you. Those little predators tried to sexually assault you. Find yourself a real man and press charges on both the perpetrators and their parents.
I think that his husband's reaction is disproportionate. Like, if he was like, I don't know if I would have slapped the kid, but I, was fucked up and you shouldn't have done that. And I'm glad you responded, right? I don't know if calling her the asshole is the right move here.
No. Well, hung jury on that one.
Not really. It's a complicated situation where I don't think there's a blanket response that I'm going to say, yep, always do this or always don't do this. I just really wanted to say on the record that I don't condone hitting children. That's all.
Disclaimer.
Neither Gemma or I hit kids.
Children.
Yes. With that, often. Hard. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it was a good shit talking episode today for not having a lot planned. We're just riffing it. We just riffed it, guys. So give us some props here.
We're just riffing. We're just improvising. We're just coming up with the first thing that comes into my head.
Yep. I like your lobster claws.
Thanks. I don't know where that came from. Again, improvised.
Let's do our shoulder dance that no one can see but us. New dance. Literally no part of your body moves except your shoulders.
Left and right, up and down, up and down. Yeah.
It's kind of hard, actually.
It is, yeah. Especially when your shoulders out.
Yep.
Well, if anyone has any other opinions on that Am I the Arsehole, or if you could send in other things that mildly annoying but seriously infuriate you, that would be cool. I'd like to read a few more of those.
Yeah. I'm genuinely curious what listeners might think about the Am I the Asshole too. And also mildly annoying but genuinely infuriating things that they've experienced that I've also undoubtedly experienced but can't think of. I just want to continue to be anger. I want to continue to be anger.
I want to be anger.
I am rage. But yeah, talkshittoUs@gmail.com.
Or TSYBpod on socials.
All of the socials. Not Truth Social. Fuck that website.
Oh, yeah. I completely forgot that even existed.
It might not anymore, to be honest. I bet it does, but...
Yeah. Well, on that note, dear Catherine.
What a Gemma, what a mighty fine Gemma. Did you like this? What was this?
That, yeah. Grab something and pull it back.
Yeah, just come to me. It was good to see you.
And you.
Till next time.
Till next time.
Great. Bye.
Ta-ra.
Toodaloo.